6 months ago, I was a Jeffrey. I spent hours after school playing video games, with up 2, 3, even 4 times a day. And the worst part was, I literally did not have any friends. I was not happy with my life. But then, I found self-improvement. I started working out, building a physique I am proud of. I completely stopped playing video games with happened. I made some friends, even getting one of them onto self-improvement with me. It changed my life entirely. Today, I'm going to tell you my entire self-improvement journey, and at the end, give you some tips on how you can improve your life. I'm going to go run to one of my favourite spots on the countryside, and I'll get talking about my life before COVID. Let's go. Right, I'm here. There's usually a lot of lavender and stuff here, but I mean that's only in the spring. So when COVID started, I was 11, so I'm going to be talking about when I was 9, 10 now. So when I was around 9, 10, I was big on cross-country running. I went to the park with my dad every Saturday or Sunday, I think it was, and I just ran round laps, and I got in a few competitions with that. And I did pretty well. So when I was in the year 5, I ran in the year 6 competition and I came second in my whole city, which is pretty good. Yeah, so running has always been a thing that I like to do. Also before COVID, I did Taekwondo, which is a Korean martial art. You might see it in the Olympics or stuff. But I did that, not competitively, just as a hobby, but I wasn't too good at it. I wasn't too devoted into it. But I mean, I still know how to kick properly and punch properly, all that. And that's really boosted my confidence. My instructor, good guy, who was once the best in the country. So he knew what he was doing. And he really taught me the value of not to let someone have something off you, to hit them back if they hit you. That sort of stuff. And I still hold that today. I don't let anyone go for me, ever. Obviously, I still played video games and watched YouTube as a kid. Mostly Fortnite and Minecraft for me, the default games. But it wasn't too much, less than an hour a day. I was usually out doing stuff, having fun with friends, playing outside. Just being a normal kid, you know? Yeah, so I had a good group of friends and everything. Still know one of them today. He's a complete Jeffrey right now, and I tried to get my self-improvement, but that didn't work. Pretty fun time. A lot of them have just gone into degeneracy now, as usual. But we would just ride our bikes around our local area and just have fun, as normal kids did. They were good times. But then COVID struck. So when COVID started, obviously I had to self-isolate like everyone else. I couldn't go out with my friends anymore. I barely saw them. The only time I talked to them was over video games. And that was pretty sad in itself because I didn't really enjoy them much. I hated my life. I hated my life then. My mental health was shit. I couldn't go out. Literally the only time I went outside was when I went on walks in the evening with my family. They were the only thing I really enjoyed at that point. I hated doing the schoolwork. I still I look back at the old notes I had and everything on my old phone, which I've got the notes for this video on here. Notes I made for school then. And it's just I get this deep, dark feeling when I look at them. In that time, I also discovered porn. I was probably only 11, 12. And I properly got addicted to it. I was looking at it for hours a day. It was not good. And that caused me to have really bad anxiety because I assumed that everyone somehow knew about this addiction. And so I was constantly overthinking about everything, not wanting to go out. I became very, very antisocial. Before COVID, I was a really social kid. I our school council. I was friends with everyone. No anxiousness or nervousness or anything, talking to anyone. During COVID, after COVID, that's when I started getting really, really socially anxious. My mental health was just non-existent then. It was terrible. COVID was the darkest time of my life. I've always had an urge to become better and to grow and to do all that stuff. But in that time, my mental health was shit. And my limiting beliefs, like I'm too young, or like I don't have enough money, or people will judge me, beliefs like that, like I'm not good enough, I cannot do it, beliefs like that, they stopped me from like truly putting effort into becoming better at that time. And I hadn't even discovered self-improvement yet. There were countless times where I just tried to do press-ups on my floor because I wanted a better body, or stuff like that. I did actually have a Fortnite YouTube channel, and that is where I learned a lot of my editing skills and everything. Oh fuck, my shoulder's aching, I'm gonna switch arms. So I had a Fortnite YouTube channel, and that's where I learned all my editing skills. You probably know this video is probably very overly edited, just to keep the dopamine coming and to keep you watching, to keep the YouTube retention and click-through rate and YouTube analytics stuff. Learned a lot about YouTube, a lot about editing. I did a lot of live streaming, playing Fortnite and Minecraft as well. I really did it all, to be honest, and that's where I learned a lot of my social media skills. So for however long COVID was, I think it was half a year maybe, on the first lockdown. Yeah, mental health. Oof. And then I started secondary school. There was this one girl who I would think about all the time, completely obsessive. It's really, really like creepy to look back now. I was so fucking like, I would just like stare at her all lesson and everything. Every lesson I was in, I'd just stare at her. I'd think about her all the time, fantasies like that would never come true. And when I started secondary school, I also started fapping. I found out about fapping, and that got really bad, 2, 3, 4 times a day. I know some degenerates obviously do it more, but at that age, that was very, very, very bad, fucking me up from very early on. I was still addicted to porn at this point, watching it every day, hours, time wasted. My grades at school were terrible. In primary school, so like year 5, 6, all that, when we actually were graded properly, I was the top of my class. I was the best of the best. Secondary school, I was below average. Like year 7, year 8, I was below average. I was shit. I was so antisocial. I was nervous when teachers talked to me. I was nervous when people talked to me. I literally did not have any friends at school. I would spend lunches either alone or just following around a group of boys that I pretended were my friends that I didn't really talk to or anything. It was really, really depressing. I had some friends online on Fortnite, but they would bully me really. They weren't really friends. They would like, you know that feeling where like you see them in the game lobby and you invite them and like they're with one of your other friends or something, because you can see they're both in like a lobby, like 2 people, and then you're inviting them over and over again for like a minute, and then you see they go into a game. That is the most like rejecting feeling ever, and that really, really fucks you up because you think they're your friends and they're not. They're just pretending to be your friends. For this whole period, year 7, year 8, I didn't think I did one bit of exercise outside of PE lessons. I quit taekwondo, I stopped running, I did no out of school things with friends or anything. I'm pretty sure my only... fucking bramble. I'm pretty sure my only... what was I saying now? I'm pretty sure my only... what's the word? I've just fucking forgot. Exercise. There we go. Exercise. I'm pretty sure my only exercise was PE lessons at school. I don't actually have any photos, but I became like skinny fat My arms were like tiny little like noodles, but my body was like bigger. And I have a like bone condition, I guess you could call it. It's called anterior pelvic tilt. Basically, your pelvis bone tilts forward, which makes your back arch, which makes your ribs stick out. So I had massive ribs sticking out, which you could see through my shirt, and I was really like conscious of that. And I hated talking to people. As I said before, I was really socially anxious. Hated any social interaction because I assumed people were judging me and everything. There were so many occasions where I tried to do push-ups in my room or sit-ups or something, and I wanted to get in shape. My dad has always been into like weightlifting and stuff like that, so I got some dumbbells off him and had them in my room. But I think I might have used them once as soon as I got them for like a minute, and then put them down and never used them again. I had this one memory of going to this big sort of park area, probably about a 30-minute drive from my house with my family. My younger brother, who is 7 years younger than me, big age gap, yes. I remember I was trying to play with him, like play tag with him, and I just couldn't run. I could run for maybe like 5-10 seconds before I'd just be out of breath, or my ankles would be hurting so much because I didn't walk or run at all. And I just remember being so annoyed that I used to be so good at running and I used to be so fit, but now I'm not anymore. And I thought it wasn't my fault because I blamed COVID, and I blamed everything on COVID. I didn't take any accountability. I didn't take any responsibility. I blamed everything on COVID. I thought nothing was my fault. I thought that I couldn't do anything to fix my situation. It was sad. So this carried on, as I said, from the start of year 7, secondary school, to about the start of year 9, which is where I'll pick up now. So about the start of year 9, I started properly working out in my room. I got those dumbbells back off my dad. I got some other dumbbells, lighter ones, so I could do multiple exercises now. I started watching, you know, those shitty fitness influencers that say like, if it fits your macro, like, oh, fuck, I'm copying Hamza now. Like, you know the fucking fitness influencers that are like, if it fits your macros, like, eat fucking like 200 grams of sugar a day, like fucking eat donuts. It doesn't matter what you eat. Those sort of guys. I was watching them, and to be honest, they were better than nothing because I guess, it wasn't discipline, it was motivation I was on. Motivation just to become better, because there was a group of boys in my school who were finally like developing from boys into men. And I was jealous of them because they had muscle and they were fit and they got girls and I didn't. So I was running on motivation. I started working out in my room, and it was a start. It was better than nothing. So the girl I'd been obsessive over for over 2 years at this point, like, she was such a big part in my life in those 2 years. I had never talked to, I might have talked to her once or twice, I can't remember, but she was like 90% of my thinking. I was such a creep. But her and her friend in my maths lesson start talking to me, pretending to want, seeming as if they wanted to be friends with me. Eventually I gave her my number, nothing like sexual or relationship wise or anything, just gave her my number as if we were friends. And we start messaging, create a group chat between the three of us, start talking and everything. And then eventually I tell her friend, the one I'm obsessive over, I tell her friend that I like the other girl. And then she's like, oh my god, you should ask her out and everything. And so yeah, eventually I ask her out with so much fucking anxiety. And she said yes. Very surprising answer. She said yes. So now, I'm a creep, Jeffrey, a degenerate, who has been obsessing over this girl for 2 years, and I'm now with her. What do you think is going to happen? I open up to her, I cry to her, I tell her all my problems. She loses all attraction towards me, even if there was any in the first place. What little attraction she had for me in the first place, completely gone because I opened up, I was feminine to her. Because the way a relationship should work, man, masculine, woman, feminine, polarized, which means they're completely different to each other. Like their energy, so the man's masculine, the woman's feminine. Completely fucked that up. So now I was feminine, she was masculine. She loses all attraction towards me. Then we go on a date, sort of. We go for a walk around the park, and it was really fucking awkward. I enjoyed it because I was a fucking feminine bitch. Then I think a couple of weeks later after that, she breaks up with me. And I was fucking like, that's the biggest level of sadness I've ever been at. Because when you're obsessive for a girl for over 2 years, and then you get together with her, and then she breaks up with you, imagine what that feels like. You've been wanting something for 2 years, so bad, you finally get it for a brief moment, and then it's just ripped away from you. I was fucking in tears. I was like fucking emo mode and everything. But her breaking up with me was really a good thing, because it motivated me more into getting fit and to building muscle, working out. So I watch more and more content about working out and everything. Then I eventually find Hamza's aesthetic body video, and I click on it, and I really, really fucking like him. And I watch so much of his content. I look back at my YouTube, like watch history, a few weeks ago, all the way back to that day. I think it was like November something, like halfway through November, I found him. And it was just suddenly like, all those shitty fitness influencers, if it fits your macros, Jeff, what's his name? No. Greg Kettle, however you fucking pronounce it, that guy. All watching him and loads of other shitty fitness YouTubers all the time. Then I find Hamza, and they completely go. And then I'm just watching Hamza, and like, obviously I'm still like fucking scrolling YouTube shorts and all that. Because I'm still not onto fully. But I get onto self-improvement, and it's a slow start. It's a slow start, as it was for everyone who's got into self-improvement, and it will be for everyone. When you start self-improvement, you can't expect results straight away. It takes time, and it takes consistency. It takes discipline. Tip. There you go. So I get into self-improvement, I start working out properly, I start eating properly, I start running a little bit, start running again a little bit. I got into that surprisingly fast. I did no cardio for like 3 years, and then I ran my first 5k in like 2 weeks of running. Like, I think I was running every other day. Within 2 weeks I could run a 5k. And that was good progress. I was really happy with that. I got some good running shoes, as you can see here. I actually got a really good deal on them, but that's a long story, so I might tell that another time. I started cold showers. That's something I really enjoy now. Cold showers aren't hard for me at all, simply because I've done them for like 8 months now. But the thing is, the thing with that girl wasn't really over. It never was, because we never stopped talking. We agreed that we weren't like romantic partners anymore, but we still talked as if we were friends, and with her friend, that other girl, and they were really, really just stringing me along at this point. They were keeping me feminine. They were telling me not to work out. They were telling me, oh, it's okay, you don't have to do it today. They would make fun of my things like cold showers, and then they would praise me when I did some fucking like baking or something like that. They really slowed down my self-improvement progress. So I thought I got really close to her friend over Christmas, because like she told me some of her secrets and shit. And really she was just like a fucking attention whore, wanting the attention off me. She didn't care for me at all. And she was just wasting my time. I was messaging for hours. I wasn't like, I'm being honest now, I did not like her at all, to be honest. She's not attractive or anything. And I think she already had a boyfriend then. So I was like, oh, I'm just a friend. That sort of fucking idiot shit, because you can't have girls as good friends. You can have girls as friends, I guess, but you can never have a close friend as a girl. It just does not work. So I'm always thinking about her, like what to say next in the conversation and everything. I'm still sort of on self-improvement at this point, but it's a very slow progress. Around this time I started mountain biking. It was in the winter though, so I couldn't really go out to many places because it was too muddy, but I really enjoyed that. Yeah, so I got my dad's old bike, and I started going out to places near, but like I started getting lifts off my friend's dad, my friend who also did mountain biking. So I think it was just before Christmas. One of my friends in my sort of friend group, I didn't really, he was my closest friend at that point, but it wasn't like a brother friend. One time after this, like after school club, how will I say this? So the girl that I had gone out with, that I was obsessive over, I saw her messing around with another boy, and I was really suspicious of it, and I just like got fucking like pissed off, but obviously I didn't really show it. But then this friend, as we were like coming out of the after school club and everything, I was just like walking fast, ignoring everything he was saying, and he was like, are you okay and everything? And it was the first time like someone had actually properly cared to ask like how I am and everything. So then eventually after school I messaged him, and I told him all about this relationship between me and this girl, because I didn't mention this earlier, but that relationship we had, literally no one knew about it. It was completely secret. I thought it was like the best thing in the world. So then I sort of get him onto self-improvement. At the same time, we had this like really long conversation into the night and everything. And I think I sort of introduced him into self-improvement. He doesn't really get on it for a while, but he's making very slow progress at the start. It's like a, you know, when you see a train starting, it's really, really slow at first, and then it speeds up, and it gets faster, and it gets faster, and it gets faster. Another tip for you there. So then now I've got this really, really close brother, and I sort of, my progress on self-improvement, it goes up now. It gets faster. I start getting better at everything. I start journaling. I start meditating. But this sort of friendship weird thing with me and the girl I dated, friend, it was really holding me back. Oh, that was close. Eventually, I think it was like February, we just stopped talking. They stopped talking to me, her and her friend. And I was really like anxious that they hated me at first. Or I thought I'd done something wrong or something. But really, that whole time they were just stringing me along, and I didn't know it, and they'd just lost interest in me. So after that, this huge distraction in my life, it's just gone. And so what happens to my self-improvement progress? Ooh, sky high. But basically the whole month of March, I just sort of go like monk mode. I get really, really like red pill hating girls and everything, and all relationships are trash. They're just a distraction. But from what I've seen with me and my friend, we're both like, I went through a sort of red pill stage, and I think he's going through a red pill stage now, because he's at that point where it's like, oh, there's no good girls in school, you got to just find your perfect women in the future, and they're a distraction and everything. And I sort of see his point, but I mean, you got to always keep your eye out for a quality woman in your life. So my progress goes sky high. I become so much more masculine. It's unbelievable. I look at old videos of myself from just a few months ago, and I look like I'm a few years younger. It is mad. And the biggest thing I noticed when I became more masculine is my muscle growth. I went from this skinny little kid to this like, I'm not like jacked now, but I gained so much more muscle in that time, and I was able to bulk a lot in that time too. I think it's because my testosterone, obviously, it went higher, and so I build muscle faster. my mental health got so much better at this point. Since them stopping talking to me, it's like my mental health is better than it was before COVID when I was like a little kid. And like when you're a little kid, it's just not possible to have bad mental health really, unless you're like being abused or something, obviously. So my mental health was and has been better than it ever has before. I got a lot better at mountain biking. Before I was a fucking pussy. I wouldn't go, like, there'd be some tiny little rocks that I wouldn't want to ride over, or some roots that I'd just get off and push over. And now I just like everything in my local area. I ride happily, and it's so much fun. It's good exercise. It's a lot more tiring than you'd think it'd be. I'm a lot more skilled. I can actually land jumps now. I can go over almost any technical bit I can see. I'm really happy with how I got better at this. I've got better a lot faster. I got a new bike, got a few upgrades to that. My life is really going great at this point. I start running that friend that I got on self-improvement. I start running with him, getting him better at running. So yeah, I start running with that friend I got on self-improvement. He's lost so much. I think I'm fucking my fitness pal stalking him or something. It says he's lost like 6 kg of weight. And looking at old photos of him now from just like a few months ago, he is like so much less chubby, and it is mad how much weight he's lost. Obviously he's still like fat and everything, but he has lost a lot of weight, and he was so much more physically fit now. He's ran a 5k. I think he ran a 5k in like his first 3 weeks of running, something like that, and he had never properly ran before in his life, which is mad. He works out everything, meditates and journals a lot better than I do. I barely meditate. He reads a lot. I don't fucking read enough. Oh my god, I'll probably have a picture of like how much I read on the screen now. I need to get better at that. And my grades at school, they just, in my science class, so I do GCSE triple science, so that is chemistry, physics and biology. On average, out of the 3 of them, I'm the top of my class. Before I was like, average. I am now the very best in my class. I now revise for tests. I have the motivation to do that now. I have the discipline to do that now, I mean. I can't give you details, obviously, but I got accepted to basically represent my school to UNESCO, like the UN humanities thing. I'm representing my school for that, and I'm going to another country abroad. Obviously, I can't fucking give details or else you'll be able to track me down, because it's not hard to track down. I've represented my school for like our local uni and everything, local university. My grades are just so much better now. My dad thankfully rewards me for that. I've got a new bike. I've got new upgrades to that bike because of how well I'm doing at school. So here I am now, masculine, disciplined. I've got the mindset. I know what I'm doing. I'm making fast progress in life. I'm starting this channel, making this video, having the confidence to do this, much better at running, building my physique, doing good at school, good relationships. Still don't have a fucking girlfriend, but I'll get there. And then the story continues. Those 2 girls, a few weeks ago, they messaged me again. They tried to be friends with me and everything. I just left them on red. They keep talking to me, keep trying to reignite this sort of shitty friendship, and eventually I literally just tell them to stop messaging me. And it feels so fucking good when people that started ignoring you and didn't believe in you improving, because they always told me that I was never going to get better, that I was never going to escape, and now I have. And it feels so good when you defy what they've said and then they come back wanting to be friends again, because it really, really validates you and it shows you that you are now better. So some tips for you that I've learned. Don't fall into the self-improvement relationship trap like I did. As a man, girls aren't your focus. Your purpose is your focus. that your purpose is hard to explain. So your purpose, it might be fitness, it might be your business. It's basically the thing at the moment that you're completely focused on. When you focus on your purpose and you're aligned with your purpose and you work on your purpose and you make progress in your purpose, that's when you'll start getting goals. If goals are your target, you're never going to hit them. You have to aim higher. Don't make goals your focus. Second tip, go into nature more. Like, really improves your mental health. I used to run just like around my local area on like main roads and shit, and it's loud, it's stressful. Running in nature, like hearing these fucking annoying little chirping birds, that's so much better than being in like a concrete jungle. Naturally, you're supposed to, as a caveman, you'd live your life in nature. Like, nature is just fucking hell. Like, look at them clouds. Like, go into nature, it improves your mental health, and then that proves everything else about your life. Just do it, alright? Third tip and final tip, get friends or a friend who is on self-improvement. I got a friend onto self-improvement. I think that's a bit harder than getting friends who are already on self-improvement. But it just gives you another layer of like accountability. And then it really like helps your progress. When I got my friend onto self-improvement, like my bedtime, because I've always struggled with going to bed early, I got better at going to bed early. He started, because I didn't believe in meditation or anything, but he got me to start meditating. He got me to start journaling. If I didn't get him onto self-improvement, then my life would be a lot more shit. And that's because I've got a friend who's on self-improvement. It's another layer of accountability. So there's plenty of Discord servers or anything you can join. You can just see if there are people in your city. You can even like look in the comments of this video if anyone's watched it to see. So yeah, that's all from me for my first video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you're gonna leave criticism, then please make it so it's like not just you're shit, but like you're shit because of this reason, so I can improve. Because if you are going to give criticism because you don't like me, then please give me a reason for it. Because if you just say like you're shit for no reason, then that's not going to get us anywhere, is it? So yeah, thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, all that good stuff. Yeah, bye.